Boom, we're back. Part number dos. That means 2 in English, I believe so. I failed Spanish 3, don't judge me. All right, we're back with TS Aggressor, though, as we continue with the Vandy vlog this week. As we talked about many things before on part number 1. You can check that out on the Stuck Club's Facebook page. Just check out part number 1, TS Aggressor. Boom, it's simple as that. Find the video, not so hard to do. Social media, quite a unique thing. As we continue down our road, we come now to kind of the middle of your career, now where you're at now. As the question for part 2 I want to start with is, how did you get involved with IPW? How did that come about?
You know, I'd done a lot of great, fun things for me, through the late 90s, early 2000, where I had wrestled for Harley Race and Adnan and Patera and done a lot of things in both Missouri, Iowa, and Minnesota. But on a Minnesota Pro Wrestling message board at the time, I started up a conversation with the Milliman. He had a name, a handle after Jake the Milkman Milliman. So I thought that was cool. I remember Jake the Milkman. But he was asking about shows in Southeast Iowa and if anybody had ever been to them. And of course, I had wrestled for this promotion before. And this gentleman, the Milliman, was looking at putting on a show in Southeast Iowa. And of course, I had a ring and was renting it out at this time and trying to get a lot of my friends involved and wrestle together. Had a great old time. So we had a show in Des Moines at Billy Joe's Picture Show, and the Milliman said he's coming down to meet me. So I'd say, yeah, we'll talk about it then. So I met that night the Milliman. His real name is Troy Peterson, and I met one of the best friends I've ever had that day. And not only a best friend in wrestling, but a friend, outside of the business of wrestling, and just a great human being on top of everything, But it's rare to find people like that, not in the wrestling business alone, but just in life. So I really hit the jackpot in the friendship with Troy. But it didn't start off quite that way, because the first show we had booked, we had an ice storm in northern Iowa where I'm from, and we had to jackknife the trailer real bad trying to leave town. I needed a towing service to come and straighten us out. So I had to cancel on Troy for his very first show, which of course damaged the trust there. But we patched things up, talked a lot over the phone, and a couple months later, we did our first show in May, I believe it was, of 2001 together. And, we haven't looked back. One show became two became three. What I'd like to say about Troy is the very first time we did a show together, I really thought that, he was a guy that was going to dump some money into it. He ran his furniture store business down in Southeast Iowa. And I really thought he'd put on one show, we'd never see him again. So, of course, like I did to a lot of guys at the time, I gave him my highest price, told him to book my friends at a high price for each one of them, so that we'll all be taken care of. And to his credit, he not only took care of us, he put us up in a hotel. He did a lot of things he didn't have to do. Paid everybody as good or better. And that just stuck out with me, because, the attendance at the show was not a representative of how much he was paying out. So to translate that, he lost his ass, but he still took care of everybody. And that's something that he did on his first show, and that's something that he has done through thick and thin. And believe me, he's learned from some of the losses, and he certainly doesn't lose every show. So he's learned a lot over the years. When he married Caroline, they really took a strong business approach with it, and really took off with it financially. So he's a very successful businessman outside of wrestling. Great husband, attentive father, and just a great human being. Great role model for a lot of guys, to myself included, to emulate. His giving nature knows no bounds. And just a great friend to have for anybody, pro wrestling or outside pro. If you like to wrestle, you like to travel, and be a part of something good where everybody's putting all their energy into giving that ticket buying audience the best possible experience, Troy is the #1 guy for that. And I'll thank him for that forever. I've told him that many times. I was at a point in that early 2000s, I could have hung that up at any time. I broke my arm in 2000 wrestling out in Wisconsin for Patera. And, I didn't need to keep wrestling. I had fun with it, but I could have walked away too. But I really found a friend in Troy, and my enjoyment for being a part of the shows, not only as a performer, but in the training process. I just fall in love with that. And I owe a lot of that to Troy, because he started the Impact Pro Wrestling banner. We ran first few shows as Midwest Championship Wrestling, changed the name to Impact Pro Wrestling. Troy started a website, included our training, Impact Pro Wrestling training on the website. It's fed the training program, which I love. and always supplies us with talent that you can trust. And I owe all of that to him. All of the great times I've had and my family's had with friends and experiences, all of that wouldn't be possible without that relationship with Troy, and I firmly believe that, and I want to thank him for that.
Now, you mentioned, you came to a point where you're okay with hanging out the boots. You still wrestle to this very day, and one thing I want to touch on about that is the fact that you do say you don't want to be one of those guys, but I don't think of you as one of those guys. I don't think anyone does, because in my opinion, and a lot of people's, TS, I think you got an extra kick in you that a lot of these young guys who are coming in, or even guys who have established themselves already, you're performing. I'm kissing ass a little bit. And
I appreciate that people view you that way. I do. And every once in a while you get the compliments and stuff, and I do appreciate that. I mean, that does mean a lot to me, because I have not I feel like a shell of my past self, and I didn't want to be one of those guys. I used to do this, and I used to, I was around enough of those guys where I didn't want to be that way. And I also, I own several mirrors in the Shillington residence, and I look at myself as being fat, heavier. I want to say super fat, but fat or bald. I'm not a guy that I would pay to see. I'm not a guy that I think Impact Pro Wrestling fans need to pay to see. And I do appreciate the compliments, but at the same time, there's another part of that. I don't want to be that guy hanging on, looking the way I do. And I also don't want to take the risks of injury. What we do is very physical, it's very dangerous, and I'm okay. I mean, I love performing, but I love also watching a lot of the guys that we've coached and trained.
Yep.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of that, seeing guys develop, guys coming through our door just with a dream, right? And they want to pursue this, and to be a part to coach them and prepare them for it, and to see them go out there and blow it away and engage the crowd and do things with the crowd to get reactions like I could or couldn't, I mean, just succeed. And I think very successful.
The whole thing with it, you perform at a great level, and fans still love watching you. If you were completely done rest of your life not wrestling, if they said, hey, TS, we want you one more time, one more match, who's that guy? You're like, you know what? If I'm gonna go out, if I'm gonna put some fists up, man, and go to work, who's the guy you want to stand across from?
Boy, I don't really even think in those terms, because I am just so at peace with not performing. And in the times I have performed, I'll be very honest, it's really begrudgingly. And Troy would attest to that. I'm not really pushing to ever be booked. So the handful of times I've wrestled in the last 12 months have really not been my choosing. It's been the circumstances have dictated that. But if I had to pick one guy, I would think, I don't really have to think very hard at this. It would be Johnny Fitness. I had such a great time with him. He was a student of mine, one of my very early students, and he's such a phenomenal talent. Both great physique, great athletic ability, unbelievable athlete, great promo guy. I mean, you could check the box of so many things he was excellent at. And the number one thing that anybody that if you care about the crowd enjoying your match, you pride yourself in a lot of our encounters. I was the heel, he was the baby face, and if you think you're good at being a heel, you want to wrestle a guy who's good at being a baby face. And he was just such a fantastic opponent. I feel like we had a lot of really fun matches that entertained people, and he would definitely be my hands down choice for an opponent if I had to go one more time. But it ain't happening, because I got nothing.
Yet. It ain't happening yet, to put the disclaimer on there. But as we continue with the vlog here, I'll wrap it up with a couple more. We'll get out of here. Right now, we have the training going on, and actually it's going on right now.
Yeah.
We'll take a little time out and do the vlog. But what's it like, still being involved in the training process, and just kind of take us through an average day of what is training like at the moment?
Our training, we kind of set it up years ago, and I took patterns of this from the way I was trained. The work on the technique early, the tie-ups and moves out of the tie-up, the holds, arm holds, leg holds, takedowns, headlocks, that type of thing from a tie-up. And then we move on to some bumping. I don't think you need to spend hours every workout on just bumping. I think that can become abusive, and it can get old very quickly. I think obviously you can't overstate how important it is to protect yourself and to understand how to take bumps. that goes without saying. But wrestling school is about, to me, is about much more than learning how to fall down. And we move on to hitting the ropes, technique parts of that, making that safe. And then we get into match fragments, putting together comebacks and heat and understanding how to control the guy without over bumping him or out over abusing him. So we start breaking things down into fragments, doing some spots and things, working on finishes, and then trying to put the fragments into full matches at some point. But always, every workout, I like to have a bit of striking where you're working on your give and take brawl, punching, kicking, that type of thing, both in a fixed position in the corner and with some movement, working a guy across the ring, because those things take a lot of repetition. I think guys who do that well have prepared themselves very well for that, putting a lot of time in working with other people. And just like everybody to know that watches this, if they're not a fan of wrestling, the amount of time and sacrifice it takes for someone. I say guys work really hard at this to be bad. So the guys who are good and proficient have worked incredibly hard to be good entertainers and be good at that. So yeah, and I can't say enough about, we can't talk about the training without mentioning Ugly. He does all of the hands-on. I very rarely get in the ring anymore. I sit in the chair and throw my 2 cents in once in a while, which I just can't get away from it. I love it. I love being a part of that coaching element. It's very fulfilling for me. But I think that Ugly does such a fantastic job of the same things I wanted to make important. It's not about the coach showing you how tough I am or me taking bumps. You want to see our coach take bumps, buy a ticket to the show. He'll do that for $15, right? To learn how to be the superstar yourself, that's when there's more of a commitment. And Bill has done such a fantastic job of not having an ego when training guys, making the training process fun. Pro wrestling is a difficult business. It's rough, it's physical. We don't try to make it more, so we try to teach guys how to be safe and entertaining, and not try to punish guys. Try to take care of them through the training process and teach them to take care of guys in every match that they're involved with. Take care of themselves and the other guy.
Before we get cut off by the video, like we did last time, we were filming, kind of cut us off, but we're good now. Where can people get a hold of you if they want to start training? And what kind of advice do you have for them real quick?
I would say if you want to train, here's the first advice, is guys always tell me they want to work out for 6 months and then come to train. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your training process will probably be close to 6 months before you're ready to wrestle anyway. So don't wait. Don't wait 6 months. You're 6 months further away from stepping in that ring and living out your dream. If you want to train, get off your butt and start as soon as possible. Now contact us through the ImpactProWrestling.com, the Impact Pro Wrestling Facebook page. I've got a Facebook page that I seldom get involved in a lot of Facebook stuff, but Impact Pro Wrestling is the way to go. If you contact us through the Facebook page or the website, we'll hook you up. We'll give you the best training for your training dollar. And remember this, and here's the other thing. This is something very important for potential students. Think about not just the quality of the training, not just how close it is or how expensive it is. What are your options going to be when you're done training? Does the promotion you train with book shows? Will they use you? Do they use their own talent? And when you talk about Impact Pro Wrestling, talk about checking the boxes, yes, yes, and yes. Troy Peterson does a fantastic job of always bringing in our new talent, giving them opportunities and experiences, and that's just it. We run a lot of shows, and I think Troy does a fantastic job of always incorporating those new guys and take that step in living out their dreams. So there's no better place to go than right here at Impact Pro.
This has been the Vandy Vlog. This is part 2. We're finishing up. Thanks for joining us on the vlog.
Hey, thank
T.S.
you,
Aggressor.
Thank you.
You can check out more videos every Monday, as we have the Vandy Vlog come out every Monday afternoon about 4 o'clock. That's a big cheap pop right there. Stud Club page. Like, love, and share the video. And follow Impact Pro Wrestling on Facebook and on Twitter. Check this guy out on Facebook as well. For the Vandy Vlog, I'm Mike Vandy. He's T.S. Aggressor. He's going to hit you with that boom. Boom!